Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this past week was my birthday on Monday, and I want to thank all of you that are watching on here that wished me a happy birthday, or y'all sent messages or whatever it was. Thank you so very much. And one of the cool things that I was able to do for my birthday was be interviewed. So I'm going to tell you, I have these young girls, these young ladies that are in a sorority, and they follow my channel. And I've known about them for a couple of weeks now, and they're out of California, and it's so cool because they will send me emails or they'll contact me through my Snapchat or my Instagram. And so they had a really cool idea, and they asked that I would be a part of their project. And at first I was like, that is so cool. And then I realized, ooh, I'm old. And granted, I don't mean that in a negative way, but okay, let me just first explain what the project was. So this was the project. They asked me 47 questions for my 47th birthday. And I wasn't expecting these questions, and I thought it would be fun for me to get on here, and I'm not going to say a sorority, I'm not going to say their names or anything like that, but I thought it would be good. They emailed me all of the questions and everything that I answered, and I thought it'd be cool to show you guys what the questions were and what I answered. I don't know, just something fun. Okay, so let me give you the rules. So the rules that they gave me were they were going to ask these questions. I had 10 seconds to answer them. Well, I had to at least be starting to answer them within 10 seconds. I didn't have to be done, but I couldn't take longer to think about it. Okay. And to try to answer them with least amount of words. If I could just answer a yes or no, do that. If I could answer just with one word or a couple of words, that would be better. Okay. So here are the questions, and this may be a little bit long. I'm going to try just to get them out as the way I did it with them. Question number 1. In one word, how does it feel to turn 47? I answered excited. Question 2. What would you tell your 21-year-old self? I would tell her just to calm down. Okay. At this point, they then said, okay, that was great, that was sweet, now for the real questions. And that freaked me out. It really freaked me out. So the third question was Brazilian or Hollywood? And I just sat there for a second and thought, what? Because to be honest with you, I wasn't expecting these type of questions. I was thinking, they're college kids. I don't know. I was expecting hard questions. Didn't expect this one. But I answered with Hollywood. Hopefully only you women understand what that is. So let's just keep going. Number 4, do you honestly love your kids every day? I thought that was a cool question. I absolutely always love my kids every minute of every day. But I don't always like them every minute of every day. Y'all are assholes sometimes. Okay. Number 5. When you were in your 20s, was having a threesome acceptable? No. No, it wasn't. Not for me, and it still wouldn't be for me.
I mean, it was the roaring 20s, so...
You see? This is why I don't like some of the people that I'm around. Okay. Number 6. Number 6. This one actually had me laughing because I'm putting myself in their mind and thinking, good Lord, what do they think 47 is? The question was, do men still flirt with you at 47? As if I'm I don't know. Yes, they do. And in fact, I would say men flirt with me more now than when I was 27, 21, when I was in my 20s. So yes, they do. Have you ever been cheated on? Yes, I have. Number 8. What's the most embarrassing thing you have done out of anger? Okay. Now, this isn't something I'm proud of, but the most embarrassing thing that I have ever done out of anger was at a grocery store. I was in an aisle that I saw somebody that I was having issues with, and right next to me there were a can of beans, and I ended up throwing 4 beans at her head, and 4 cans of beans, and I'm not proud about it. And that gets us to number 9. The next question was, how old were you when this happened? And I would like to say I was in my 20s, but I wasn't. I was like maybe 36, 35. Don't even know if my husband knows about this. He will now. My children do know because my 2 boys weren't with me, but my older daughter was, and she couldn't be prouder than me. So yeah, that was probably the worst thing I've ever done. Okay, number 10. This one got me. Do you swipe right or left? I have to say something. I understood, I've heard this before, swipe right or left, and I kind of knew that it had to do something with a dating app, but that's all I know. I don't know what it means. I don't know if I would swipe right. Other than that, I don't know. But I think it's something with the dating app. And they told me that it was, but that was it. Number 11, when you were dating, who would pay the bill? That kind of got me too, because as I'm answering these questions to these young ladies, I'm learning a lot about them and their generation and what they're going through. And I never paid. And I don't know if it's just the choice of men or boys at the time when I was younger dating, but I've always been extremely spoiled. I'm married to a husband that spoils me horribly, and I've always been attracted to any boyfriend that I ever had spoiled me, babied me, whatever. I think it's just I don't know, I guess it's just what I'm attracted to. So no, I never paid, but from what I understand nowadays, it's the girl expected to pay, and then they're also expected to have sex at the end of the date. So that's another thing that I was just like, what? So, okay. That was number 11. Number 12. When in your 20s, did men open your door for you, and did you take it to offense? Yes, they did, and they still do, and no, I was not offended by it. And from what I understand, these young ladies, a few of these young ladies are very, very much offended because they say they feel that they can open their own door, and they are offended by these men opening their doors. I don't know if it's just my generation. I don't know if it's the way I was raised. I don't agree with them on that. I don't understand it. But to each his own. Number 13. How long have I been married? I have been married going on 26 years. Okay. Number 14. If you found yourself divorced, would you marry again? No, I would never marry again. If no, number 15, would you date again? Probably. I probably would date, but I ain't marrying again. Okay. Number 16. They say fashion goes full circle. What have you seen come back around? I'm seeing shoulder pads come back around. And you know what? I'm okay with it because I love shoulder pads. I really liked it. Okay, number 17. Does the camera actually add weight? Yes, 40 pounds. No, I don't know. I've had people tell me that I look thinner in person, like people that I've met that have now following that I've met later after. And they've told me I look thinner in person than I do on camera. I think what really matters, I think it comes off to the angle. This is set up and I have somebody, but it's not set up like professional. It's just not. And I'm very fortunate that I have a brother that owns a production company. He's a photographer and a a director. He's done it all. And so I just need to have him come over and show me exactly how to set this up the proper way. So I don't know. I don't think it really does. But like I said, people say I look thinner in person. I don't know. Maybe. I hope so, because I tell you what, I'm not liking what I'm seeing. Okay, number 18. What do you like most about being a new YouTuber? And I thought this was cool because one of the things that I liked and I can appreciate or be in gratitude is that I now know these young ladies. This was really cool because we did it over Skype. And to see them and to interact and to hear their stories, and because it was I was answering the questions, but we were actually talking in between the questions, and I was learning a lot from them. So meeting new people and talking with viewers, that's really cool. I really like that. Okay, number 19. What do you like least? What I like least about YouTube is having to ask people to subscribe and like the videos or the channel. It just feels so weird asking for that. And in fact, I've got 4 other friends besides myself, so it's 5 people that are new YouTubers, and we're in this little contest right now, and I'm gonna lose. I'm just gonna lose because it's like who can get to 100 first as far as subscribers, and they're pushing it and they're really good at it, and I don't know. I'm just like I'm gonna lose because I just can't ask for it. It just feels weird. Okay, number 20. Tan or not to tan? Tan. Let me tell you, fat always looks better tan. You got some big legs on you, it's gonna look better in a tan. You got a big old butt, it looks better tan. Just tan, definitely. Okay, 21. If you do tan, do you do natural or fake? Absolutely fake all the time. I will not do a natural tan. In our discussion, it wasn't one of the questions that was printed out, but one of the questions that the girls did ask was, what fake tan would I recommend? And I have never tried it, but I know a lot of people love loving tan, and I do want to try it at some point. I just haven't gotten around to it. Okay, number 22. Have you ever been heartbroken? Of course. Of course I've been heartbroken. Yeah. Okay, 23. Best way to get over a breakup. I told these girls time. Just taking time, it'll go away, and you'll forget that you were ever that heartbroken. 24. Best way to forget a man. Well, if you know me, I handle a lot of things through comedy. That's just our family. That's how we handle things. And I will tell all of my nieces and friends' daughters, you know, once they get to a certain age and they're older, I joke around and I say things, and I told these young ladies the same thing, and I said that the best way to get over a man is to get under another. And of course, I mean, it's all in humor. I guess if I was trying to be totally serious, I would say time. Again, just give it time and you'll get over that man. No time at all. 25. How do you deal with stress? You know, I would say again, time. And not only that, staying positive. I told them, as long as you stay positive, whatever you're going through, you can sit there and look at it and think, it's not that bad. It's going to work out. I'm not going to let it stress me out too much. And of course, the typical things, you know, like, you know, go for a walk, spend some time with some friends, take a bubble bath, those type of things, they all work too. Okay. Number 26. Have you ever had hate directed towards you? And I answered yes. I have very much had hate directed towards me. 27 was a combination of 26, and they asked if I did, was the hate from men or women or both? Yeah, I don't think I have ever experienced hate from men, but women, yes, I have. Okay. And and if I answered yes, this was number 28, if I answered yes, how do I deal with the hate? I just walk away. I ignore it. I do not let myself get too caught up in it. I used to let it really bother me and it would break me apart, and I just don't any longer. Okay. Number 29, are you a spiritual person? And I answered yes, I am. Number 30, what's the craziest job you ever had? Okay, so I was telling these girls are in California, and I let them know, for those of you in San Antonio, I'm sure you remember, you know, and I don't even know if they're still open, San Francisco Steakhouse, but I let them know that there was a bar at this restaurant, and there was a swing, and it was like an old saloon type of restaurant, and there was a girl that would swing on that swing and hit the bell with her foot, and I was the swing girl, so I would hit the bell. So that's probably the craziest job I've ever had. Number 31. What was your favorite TV show as a kid? Brady Bunch. And they all knew what Brady Bunch was. They all thought, they were like, oh, how cute. Now, the next question. 32. What show do you wish would come back? And I said I would love for the Love Boat to come back. And like maybe one knew what Love Boat was. Nobody else knew what Love Boat was. And see, that's why it needs to come back. Because they're missing out, right? Okay. Number 33. One thing you will not talk about. And I told them that I have two things. And I will not ever talk about politics or religion. Just don't go there. Don't need the fight. I just not going to talk about it. When people are talking about it, I just stay completely quiet. We found you through Soon Recommended Podcasters. Are you going to go forward with one? Maybe. I answered maybe. I know a few of you, I've mentioned it before, I have been asked to do a podcast, and I am thinking about it. I'm just trying to figure out everything that I would need to do on my part before doing that. And if there was something, because if they want to talk about certain things that I don't want to talk about, so that's kind of where I'm going through. And a lot of it is the religious and the politics and religion and politics, and I'm just not going to do that. Okay, number 35. In a world where there is so much criticism, are you afraid to put yourself out here on YouTube and possibly a podcast? And I answered no. I'm in a different place at 47. I know that it's coming. I know that the criticism is coming, and I don't care. Now, saying that, let me explain. I've had people tell me, like my brother, for example, that, he's this gifted, man with a camera. He's told me several times, Lisa, you need to change the lighting. You're angling yourself wrong. You're making yourself look bigger than you are. He's told me all of this stuff. I just haven't had him come over to help me with it. So that type of criticism, I accept and I love. If someone tells me, hey, listen, your makeup didn't look great, or that I love. But this other stuff that comes and it's like, I read one, not mine, but I read a friend of mine, hers the other day, and it was like, wishing death upon her. Stuff like that, it's like, oh my God, like what happened in your day for you to be so angry to wish that? Yeah. So when it comes to stuff like that, no. Doesn't bother me. Okay, number 26. What do you take self-pride in the most? Okay. Self-pride. At first, they had to correct me because I immediately started to say, oh, well, my kids, my family. They're like, no. This is about you. What do you take self-pride in as far as yourself? And that's a hard thing to divide yourself from your children and your family when that's all your life, that's all my life has been about. So I appreciate they did that. But my answer to them was, I take a lot of pride that I have humor. In so much stuff that has happened over my life, I can still laugh. I take pride in that I can stay positive. In most situations, I will find the positive out of whatever is happening. And I like the fact that I have the ability to forgive. I have had my family become so angry with me because I will take people back over and over and over that have treated me wrong, and I will forgive them, and I don't know, I think that's a very good, I'm proud that I'm that person. Number 37, favorite thing to do. Well, my favorite thing to do is shop. I will shop every day, all day. I can shop all morning, come home, somebody will call and say, hey, there's a sale going on over at such and such place. I'll get in the car, I'll shop again, and then I'll come home and shop online. I love to shop. I just love it. At some point, I want to do a filming of my glam room, and you will see how much I actually shop. Number 38. In order of favorite, where would you live if not in Texas? So, I would live, my first place would be New York, my second place would be Atlanta, and then Nashville would be the last place. I would love to live in all of those places if I could. Maybe one day I'll like win the lotto and have a house in each one of them. Okay, 39. This was another one that it's like, you know, these are the questions that you sit and you think, who in the family is going to watch these? So, it is said a woman hits her sexual prime in her 40s. Would you agree? And yes, I would. Okay, number 40. Oh, you know what? Don't even look at me like that. You know y'all are all at your sex prime. I'm talking to my women out there that are in their 40s, and they're like, girl, yeah, you are. Yeah, you know it.
What about the some that are single and they don't get none?
If they're single, girls, if y'all are single, you're getting it more than those that are married. I promise you. Okay, number 40. We're almost at the end. Best gift you were given this birthday. All of them. They were all amazing gifts. But if I had to pick just one, I would probably say a poem that my 17-year-old wrote for me. And he is a musician and a songwriter. So having his words in a poem, it just, I don't know, it just melts my heart. So yeah, that would probably be the one if I had to pick. 41, question number 41. Best gift given to me as a child. Okay, so this was another thing that I thought that was kind of weird, because I know that they have these things around now, and these young ladies didn't know what I was talking about. So it could be that I was calling it wrong, that I was naming it the wrong way. I don't know. So, do you guys remember those black 8 balls, those magic balls that you would, like, you would shake it up and you would read your fortune? That was the best gift. It was my 8th birthday, and that was a gift given to me, and I don't know. I love those things. I still want one. I don't know what happened to that one, but I still would like another one. Okay, now on to number 42. Tell us something that only YouTubers know. I think the only thing that we know that people don't know is our stats. Okay, so just for an example, maybe the video has 10 views. In reality, it could have 50 views. Maybe they have, I don't know, maybe they have 3 subscribers, but in reality, they could have 50 subscribers. So we see the right then and the minute what your stats are, and it kind of takes a while for it to catch up to everybody else. Okay, number 43, we're almost there. What was the worst year of your adult life, and why? I would say the worst year of my adult life would be 2009. But I have to say, when they asked me this question, it took me back to what is that movie, Miss Congeniality, when they asked, like, what's the best date? You know, when she said, like, I think she said something like April whatever, because it's not too cold, and that's whatever. I don't know. My mind just off into other places. But I did answer 2009, and because we were in a head-on collision at that time. We were, a drunk driver hit us. It was probably the worst year of our life. I had to go into surgery. I was in a wheelchair for 6 months out of the year. I was told I would never walk again. We went through our entire savings. It was a very hard year. My children were affected horribly. It was just really bad. Really, really bad. Number 44. What was the best year of your life and why? And oddly enough, I said 2009. And that was the same year. And I think the reason why that year meant so much to me because that was the year I realized my strength. I realized my faith. I realized just exactly, I had been practicing the law of attraction, the law of positive thinking, gratitude, manifestation at that point, probably for 5 years now, at that point in 2009. And, but then you always think, will I really be positive? Will I really, when certain things, when you're at your lowest, can you really be that way? And yeah, I did, because like I said, the doctors told, and the only one that knew were my husband and I, they told me that there's a good chance you're never going to walk again. And that was look, we both sat there and said, you know what, but I'm alive, when there's no reason other than a miracle that we all lived. My children didn't have to go through surgery, so I was happy. I'll take the surgery for them. My husband didn't have to. So we were just happy to be alive. But it is a little bit of a heart wrench. It's kind of like it is a little bit of a heartbreak to hear, you're probably never going to walk again. And I told him, we're not telling the children this. We're not telling my parents. We're not telling the family. We're not telling our friends. Nobody is to know this but me and you. And the reason why, we didn't want it to be talked into existence. We did not want anybody to manifest that in. Not that they would deliberately do it in a mean way, but when you hear that, it would be, oh my God, I just heard, Liza's not going to be able to walk again, or, and it would just kind of run through wildfire. So we didn't say any of that. And we just concentrated on, yes, I was going to walk again. And I'm walking now. I wear heels now. I want to eventually at some point do a marathon. I could never run because I still have all these screws in my foot. But if I could just walk it, I'm going to do it. I will do it. So yeah, that would definitely be my favorite year, because it also had our children and our friends and our family and my husband and I become so super close. I did not do the traditional therapy I did traditional therapy, but I did not do traditional walking therapy with the doctors, because they were just like, you're just not going to walk. So my husband would take my kids to school in the morning, and then when he would get home, he would teach me how to walk again. So yeah, how do you not find gratitude in that? So yep, same year, worst and best year. Now number 45. Women nowadays are letting their underarm hair and hair on their legs grow out. Would I do that? And my answer is no. Not happening. And they also said, why did I think that this was happening? And this isn't the first time this has happened. This happened in the 60s. It happened in the 70s. From what I understand, it happened in the 80s. I don't remember that. But, this isn't the first time. If you want to do that, you do that. I don't know if it's just because I'm not a very big hair type of person. I have a lot of hair. I do. But I only like the hair on my head. I like some eyebrows. But other than that, I don't like hair. I don't even really like hair on a man. So I don't... No, you'll never find me letting all that hair grow out. No, I like to be completely hairless except for my head. Number 46. What's the best advice you would give us? I would say the best advice that I would give these young ladies is to know their worth. I did not know my worth until I turned 40 years old. And before that, I let people treat me bad. Before that, I let stress take over me. I would worry about the dumbest things. Looking back now of the things I would worry about, oh my God, it was ridiculous. Okay, now the last question. And I have to say, I was sitting there going, oh heck. This did not go the way I expected. What could this question be? And this is what they tell me. So this is the question. Last one, 47. This was the last question. So they prepped me first. They said, You can't even think about it. We're going to ask you a question and you just say it. Exactly what we ask, you just answer it quick without any thought. And I said, okay. And they said, give us a number. Any number. And I said 13. I just thought 13. Okay, so then they tell me to go to my phone. And I'm like, oh gosh, okay. So I had to go to the phone, go into my pictures, and show them what is number 13. And I gotta say, this was hilarious, and I'm gonna show it to you guys. I'm hoping it'll show. So this is the video that is number 13 on my phone. It was sent to me by my youngest child, and it just made my day. Will you hit it? Because I'm not gonna be able to see it. Okay.
My chakras are aligned.
That's literally on my phone. And you know what? That video cracks me up. So I keep it. If there's something that makes me upset one day, I'll just use that and go and look at it. I think it's hilarious. But anyways, so those were the 47 questions that were asked. And in between, there was a lot of conversation going on with myself and these young ladies. And like I said, I don't want to say who they're with or name their names, but I do want to thank you girls very much. I enjoyed this. You made my day. You made me feel young, and sometimes you made me feel a little old, but that's okay. That's okay. I embrace that. I love that. And I hope those of you that are watching this had fun and laughed about it and thought a little bit of it. And you know what? Maybe answer the question. What show would you like to see come back? Because I really would like The Love Boat. I loved The Love Boat. I thought it was so cute. But anyways, I thank you guys very much. I hope you liked the video. And I'm going to do something that makes me so uncomfortable. And I'm going to ask that you subscribe and like and hit the button, whatever else you're supposed to do. But I appreciate you guys being here. And have a good night.